guys, welcome to this week's show of Healthy Dog Eats. I'm Kim Pichatti and Dr. Kaz. Are you going to give me a high five for this week? Are you done with all the treats? Are we done? He says it's time to get back to regular food. Our last week on our Halloween treats, and we are here. You can go ahead and lay down, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to talk about Halloween, all right? Trick or treat? I know you're not a big fan, but you will be of what we're making today because it has cheese. We are going to make some turkey meatballs, mini turkey meatballs, along with some cranberry sauce and a little bit of avocado, kind of getting into the fall holiday spirit. We wanted to talk a little bit today about trick-or-treating because it's coming up, and when this is our last treat show, we thought this would be good because you can actually make these little meatballs. We're going to make them small. There's probably maybe make about 2 dozen or so. But it'll be great just to use it. You can keep them in the refrigerator, pop them off, give them little bites of treats, huh? Or we can make up a nice little platter if you're going to have a party. And actually, I mean, they're healthy enough for us to eat and good enough for us to eat as well because, once again, we're just using all the whole foods. Nothing that's bad for us, nothing processed. But going back into our Halloween mode and our trick-or-treat. You know, everybody gets all excited, and it's a lot of times people decorate just as much for Halloween as they do for Christmas. But did you ever think of looking at it from their perspective? I mean, think of all the scary sounds and scary things that can be. So please use caution and kind of think and stop before you turn on the, crazy sound boxes that the dogs hear. Or, if that is going to be part of the night, go ahead and desensitize your dog ahead of time. Start playing it and rewarding the dog, giving the dog a treat, letting them know, hey, it's no big deal. That's just some crazy sound. Name it or tell the dog what's going on. But we'll talk a little bit more. Let's get our stuff going here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our cranberry sauce. Super, super easy. We have 2 cups of fresh cranberries, and we're just going to put that right in our pan. And then we are going to add a little bit of water, and we're going to make just a cranberry dipping sauce. Once again, very simple, just like how we make our syrups, our blueberry syrups and different syrups that we use. We'll put a little bit of water go in. We're going to let that go for a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more because I want it to kind of come up to a boil, and then I want the cranberries to pop. So we're going to put that on, get that going, and then we'll add a little bit of maple syrup just to sweeten that up a little bit here in a little bit. And now for our turkey meatballs. So simply put, we have 1 pound of ground turkey. We're going to put that right in our bowl. And beforehand, I guess better make sure that I turn on the oven. If my oven's going to cooperate with me, as we talked about, we have there we go. We actually got it good. We're going to put our oven at 375 to cook our meatballs up. We are going to do the simplest thing absolutely possible. We have feta cheese today. We have some parsley. And I always like adding the fresh vegetables, especially zucchini, anytime we make any kind of meatballs, because it's got so much moisture in it. We're not even going to be adding egg. We're not going to be adding any kind of breadcrumbs, oats, anything. We're just going to do some carrots, some turkey. We're going to do some parsley for some fresh breath. We're going to do 4 ounces of feta cheese. And we had a cup of carrots, a cup of zucchini, probably about 2 tablespoons of our parsley. That's it. No salt, no pepper, because what we're going to do is we're relying on the flavors from the cheese to actually flavor the meat and have all that in. And it's all good for us, right, Cuz? Definitely good. Remember, too, and it's also really kind of goes without saying, is the candy bowl. Leaving the candy bowl around, a lot of times that ends up where the dogs can get in it. They can get the chocolate, which we all know that that's not good for them. But even just a simple wrapper can have a really hard time coming out the other end. So make sure that when your kids come home with their bags of candy, when you do it, always think they're right there. I know it's a lot of commotion going on. Everybody's all excited. Everybody's happy about everybody all dressed up. But even those dressed up costumes scare them. The masks, seeing the masks on people. A lot of times what we do with our training here is we use things that have eyes because the dogs will focus to that. So seeing something scary like that, all of a sudden your dog is going crazy. I mean, think of, I don't know, like Mardi Gras kind of like freaks me out because like if you think of going there and you don't know who all these people are and you see all that kind of masks and stuff like that and everything's all fast and commotion, I mean, think of what the dogs must think. I mean, I don't know, just be careful. Just be careful, you know, not to mention the fact that the doorbell's ringing all the time, you know, and if your dog happens to be sensitive to the doorbell, that's something that's definitely going to bother them, you know, hearing that all the way through. You know, an easy way to kind of get around all that, whoops, I guess I'm throwing carrots all over the place here. An easy way to kind of get around all that is go sit out on the front porch if you're going to hand out the candy. Take a big bowl, have it out on the front porch, and put the dog in some place where they can go, and maybe you can play some music, some classical calming music that the dog will like. You know, take the dog for a walk prior when there's not a lot of people, you know, a lot of people like to take their dog trick-or-treating. You know, they put them in a wagon, they take them on, all that kind of thing. But then what happens is, like I said, the dogs get really scared. So you have to really be your dog's advocate on Halloween. You know, we don't have to worry about it as much on Christmas and Thanksgiving, because things are a little bit calmer. But everybody knows how Halloween, a lot of times people get crazy, dogs get crazy, kids get crazy, all the pranks, all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, we're just mixing up our meatballs here, our mini meatballs. We're not going to overmix them because then obviously that makes them dry. And we want them nice and moist for our puppies. So we just want to make sure that we incorporate everything. Once again, always using that fold over technique that we use. And you can see our cranberries are just starting to boil up here. And with that, I'm going to put in about 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. And we're just going to let that go the whole entire time while our meatballs are in the oven. All right, we're going to let you go, and we got these now. So all we're going to do is we're going to use our little small baking sheet that fits in our very small oven. And I've got 2 scoopers here. I'm not sure. One I think is a little bit bigger, so we'll make the little bit bigger one. And we are just put them on parchment paper. We're just going to take them out, take our meatballs, and we're going to scoop them all out. And we're going to make, I think, like I said, it's going to make probably about 24 of these. We'll see. I don't know. See how right I am. And while we do this, why don't you guys take a break, and we'll get these meatballs cooking. We'll come back and we'll have our cranberry sauce. We'll talk a little bit more about avocados, because if you remember, we talked about that in another episode. Cranberry avocado and turkey goes wonderful. Panera Bread used to make a sandwich that way all the time around Thanksgiving that was always really good. But we've talked about how avocados, the main problem with avocados for the dogs is the pit. Also, a gentleman out in California, a pronounced vet out there, had felt that Mexican avocados weren't as good for the dogs as California avocados. So I don't know if that's because he lived in California or if that really was the case. But avocados are a good fat for the dogs, as long as we just kind of stay away from the Mexican ones. Anyway, we'll see you back in a little bit. And once again, our oven, that's better vertically. Ovens are all crazy. Like I said, you have to determine your oven. Even a lot of times the temperature that it says on the outside isn't really what the temperature is on the inside. You can have a little oven monitor. That's why a lot of times you'll flip your pans during baking, especially when you're baking cookies. Know that with Christmas cookies coming up. You know, you'll get one side of your oven that's a little bit hotter if you flip your pan halfway through baking. But you want to be careful with some of the things on baked goods that you do that, because you can actually, especially cakes, you can deflate them. So really watch with that. Hey, where are you going? He says he's got some more time yet till it's time. I know the meatballs are in the oven. Okay, did you come to check on them? All right, we're gonna go play. We'll see you back. We are back, and you can see we made up a really cool platter. Christina says this is eyeballs in blood and witch's fingers. But to me, it looks like avocado, turkey meatballs, and cranberry sauce. So we'll see. But anyway, you can look how easy this is. And this is great to put out for your guests, that are dogs, to have yourself. We're going to give Cosmo some. Are you ready? Cranberries, great for urinary tract health for our dogs, which is very, very simple. All we used was cranberries, water, and a little bit of maple syrup. Our veggie turkey meatballs. Avocado we'll keep to us because we weren't able to get the California brand. But if you can, it's also great for them. So we're going to make Cosmos up a little bowl. But I also wanted to talk to you real quickly. We'll give him a little bit of cranberry. Okay? And because I don't know if he likes it. He's not a real big fruit person. I know he's going to like the meatballs. But I wanted to talk about dog costumes. Okay. Now we can get a little crazy with it, but remember them, okay? Try to keep avoid stuff on their paws. You know, the easiest way to make them look kind of fun and festive, put something on their collar, do how we do with the hat with Cosmos. A lot of times they make those little things that go over their back, or something that, really the big thing is if you can hook something onto their collar. Because when you start putting their arms and legs and things, their paws and things, you're gonna kind of freak them out. A lot of times too, some of the dogs still have their dew claws. You don't want them to rip their dew claw or pull their paw and get stuck on something. So while it's cute and festive and it's fun to dress them up and have all the contests and everything, just be your dog's advocate and just kind of go from there. But thanks for watching another week, and you can get our recipe at empoweredpups.com. We'll see you next week when we'll be back to making regular meals, of course with cheese, for our boy. We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, we got all your stuff now. You like your meatballs, huh? What do you think? Cranberries too? I think he wants more meatballs. Do you want another meatball? Okay, let's get you another meatball. You only had 4. We ended up making 36 by chance, so I wanted to let you know. 37, I think it was, so a lot more than 24 than I thought. Cosmos is meatball head. But these are great because you can put them in the refrigerator and you can just pull them out one at a time for the dogs to use treats. Freeze them. He even likes the cranberry. Good boy. Good boy.
We're gonna go to the door now and say trick or treat. Ready? Here we go. Trick or treat.
One at a time. Good laying, Cosmos. One at a time. When I say your name, Kepler. Jordan. Jordan, you need to sit down, please. Thank you. Who's that? Leah? Rayla? Hold on. Wait a minute. Holly? Holly? We have Rocky. And we have Morgan. And you. Do you want another one? Trick or treat.